Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to What's Map, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. I'm BonBonB and you're very, very welcome. Well, I have a couple of confessions to make. First of all, let's start off with what is down below. That has been recorded with the incorrect theme. I am sorry. Once we get to the live fly-through, everything will be good. But for these stills, I'm sorry, it's a little bit wrong. My bad. The second confession is, and I don't like to brag, but I banged a hottie this morning. I've got to be more careful when I put down my coffee cup. But besides all that, it's Tuesday. Tuesday is request day. Today's map was requested by the creator from sunny South Africa, and it's not dreadful. It's not dreadful. And we're going to start off by looking at the good things and then picking up on the bad things later on. So if you're looking forward to that, you know what to do. That's right, hitting the like button really does support the channel, gets me seen by more people and helps me grow a little bit more every single day, so thank you very much for your support. Today's map is Newlands by Snyman. Hopefully I've pronounced that correct, Hans. So there you are, that's your top-down view of the entire map. What are we looking at in terms of start square though? That's what we look like in terms of start square. Definitely usable, just about enough water there, as long as there's water flow, that's what matters. Then here's your terrain map. So we've got a bit of a ridge coming down through the middle of the map, that's okay. And a few peninsula things going on. And there's your resources, a good mix of everything. So once again, probably very playable in terms of resources. It says I'm not using a theme, but I will be. I promise you. Because in the description there, it says Miyagi Boreal Summer, and I missed it. So I have added that one. It'd be helpful if the link to that was in the requirements. We'll of course be using the realistic 1.2 LUT. You'll need network extensions too as well for this one. Right, okay, so let's have a little look. Now this is one of the secondary roads. It is an outside connection, you can tell by the traffic flowing down it. And the secondary road which leads up to our highway. I thought I'd take this because it's a slightly more scenic route. And we'll have a little look down over the playing area in a second. We've got a little bit of a view opening up here. So, yeah, what do you think? What do you think? First impressions? Clunky, I think. Clunky is going to be a word I think we're going to use quite regularly. But clunky, but definitely playable. Definitely playable. We're coming down the hill now to our first intersection. And this one, it's a junction. Leads down to a potential start spot, but not the start square, like here. You'll notice we got traffic lights. And notice they're on green for the traffic at the moment. And we wait here and they are going to remain on green. And they're going to remain on green. How long are they going to remain on green for? I've sped the footage up and they're staying on green. And something I wasn't aware of. Maybe you need traffic actually heading down towards traffic lights for them to change. Because look, these are definitely on red. So by the end of today's show, we're going to test this. It's something that I should play the game more. I should know these things. But I was a bit surprised by they just, look, it's not changing. We'll better check that. We will check that at the end of today's show. Don't worry. BonBon's got it. You probably know already what's going to happen. But BonBon's got it. Anyway, following along. So Snyman, he's requested a whole bunch of his maps. So I've got 2 on the request list. 1 on the long list, and I'm sure once this has been requested, once it's been reviewed, you'll get another result his onto the request list. Of course, if you've got any maps that you'd like requesting, like reviewing, don't have to be your own. Oh, look here, nice little elevated section here, as we see the what's it called? An embankment. That's it. Nice little embankment there, and then under the rail there as well. Yes, if you've got any maps you'd like to see reviewed, don't have to be your own, then please just let me know in the comments, and I'll get them added to the list. Slight clipping of the lamppost through the side there, but it's not into the line, so I usually let those go. Now we're going to change. Now a change of roads, and I don't think this works. Look at the lane alignment. I don't buy into that at all, I'm afraid. It's just awful. I mean, yeah, okay, the zebra crossings, the crosswalks, they don't match up either. But I just don't like the way the lanes work, especially down the middle. Especially if you're flying down there at 70 and then suddenly you've got to almost 90-degree angle it. Now here we've got more traffic lights on this one. I don't mind them too much on main roads, that's fine. But once you start building down there, you imagine we will be building down there because we've got a potential location. See how the traffic's building up already and there's hardly any traffic at the moment. Well, once we start building down there, that might back up onto the highway, and I can see that as being a potential problem. Just a potential one. Of course, if you don't wish to build all the way over there, then that is fine. You'll have no issues at all with that. Elevated section again, that elevated embankment section again. Come back and look at this section a little bit later because there's something else that you need to see. And then I'm going to call it a perfect bridge. I would like to see it just a little bit higher in this middle section here, just to give it a little bit of an arc on it. It's just a bit low to the water. It's not horrendous. It's not nothing to mark it down on. I just would like to see it a little higher. Like here we've got mismatching highways. We've got an elevated section right next door to a ground-based section. Again, if it was all ground-based, I think that would work quite nicely. And then we look down. In fact, it's a bit of a hill going on. We've gone over a bit of a hill. I think maybe we could have gone around it or just leveled it out completely. Possibly. It's not the worst. I'm just picking on minor things here because they're there and I noticed them. Now here I'll notice this. Notice the route that the road is taking here. Put the train lines on here. Between the two hills. I think this is good work. See, I point out the bad, but I also try and point out the good when I spot it as well. And I think that makes a lot of sense in terms of route. That makes a lot of sense there altogether. Heading down towards the start square now, and we'll look at this in a bit more detail, like the rail and stuff. Don't want to take it all in. We'll do a lot of this stuff after the intermission. Just giving you an overview of what's going on first of all. A slightly phallic looking intersection there, but we won't go into any naughty details. Other than that, it's okay. I mean, the down ramps here are a little bit on the steep side, but they're not the worst. And we've got the elevated rail going into Start Square too. We won't be looking at this section of rail. We're gonna bypass it altogether. But there we are. We're heading down to Start Square. We have a roundabout in place, which should spread the traffic quite nicely. And somewhere around here should be... there it is. This is a beauty today. A beauty. It's Tennis Clubhouse by Vilgard 92. Look at this. Liking that logo as well. Loving little planters with the trees as well. Visitor parking there. We've got 3 outside courts, 3 inside courts, all numbered as well. Got a little tennis ball dispenser thing going on there as well. Liking the benches. I'm liking everything about this as well. There's even, see the footpath behind this fence. It actually opens up and you can get to any of the courts. It's just really good work all round. Shall we do a factoid while we're here? Because we're here. Where are we? On seeing the first rushes of Laurence Olivier in Wuthering Heights, Sam Goldwyn called him a mess, dirty, unkempt, stagey, hammy, and awful. Laurence Olivier got an Oscar nomination for his performance. Yes, that's how it goes. But yeah, look at this. 3 indoors, 3 outdoors. Excellent work, Vilgard 92, and I'm not surprised so many people have subscribed to it already. And I'm sure there'll be a few more after today's show as well. Of course, all the links to all the assets and maps are all in the description. There we are. Now, notice we're going from 3 lanes up to 4 lanes. We've got Slip Road coming down here. Slip Road joining 3 lanes, remaining at 3 lanes, and then going up to 4. I think that what we really need to do is have this at 4 lanes. What am I doing here? Shut that down. Shut it down. Open up that and then upgrade that. There we go. That should be 4 lanes merging into 4 lanes now. That makes a bit more sense. Yeah, the lane merging isn't exactly the best there, but it wasn't dreadful. Just wasn't very clever now, was it? Anyways, we'll come along here. Next bit here, we're going elevated to get up into the tunnels. It's a shame we have to go elevated to get to the tunnels. Perfectly straight and a bit wibbly wobbly on this one. And then up to the... could have stayed at ground level and just nestled a little tunnel route into the ground there. And then again here, we're going elevated to get up into the tunnels as well, which just seems a bit weird. Alternatively, if we have a look at the rail alongside here, I think this is the exact opposite. I think this is good work. Because you see here, if we put on the terrain lines in a moment as well, you'll see that we're gouging a little hole through the land as we are just getting the elevation up and getting it up a bit more. We don't need to go elevated here. And then this nestles into the tunnel. And this, in complete contrast to the roads, I think is excellent work. Anyway, if we follow that through, that'll emerge over here. And possibly a little bit higher than it needs to be. We could have emerged that through at about the same level. But we've gone elevated. And the elevation, it comes down nice and smooth. So maybe that tunnel could have emerged that ground level. We wouldn't have even needed that elevated section. Got the two catenary towers, two catenary posts, sorry, are right next to each other. They're a bit close to each other. And then we have here, this is the termination. We'll have a look at the other rail after the intermission. I promise.
Do you have trouble building on steep hills? Do your buildings continually glitch into or out of the ground? Then you need the Beginner's Guide to Building on Steep Hills by BonBonB. Click the information button now.
And so back to the shipping routes, and we have shipping routes, and I don't mind them. I think they work. I mean, they're not the smoothest, most polished, but I can't find anything really to moan about, which is very much unlike me, isn't it? But yeah, I have no problems with these at all, really. They just kind of do, don't they? Polish is lacking, of course. Water flow. We've got a river system that is definitely full of water. Water gushing out of all the nooks and crannies down here, feeding a very wide, strong flowing river, which would matter more if it went through the start square, but it doesn't. Head out to sea. The start square is around here, and there we go, right there, and there's no motion at all, and we literally relying on this. We've got one arrow, and that's it. We've got water flow just over here though, so maybe if we'd just expanded across from there, I don't know. Right down to the start square, let's have a little look at some of the issues, because I promised you we'd have a look at the issues. Got a little bit of blue mantle there, you may have noticed. There's also some blue mantle that you wouldn't have seen earlier because of clever camera work. And down here, I did promise we'd come back and have a look at this, said it was important. And yes, we've got some road glitching going on here. It's really quite bad actually. But I flew over it quite quick and hopefully you missed it. And if you didn't miss it, well done you. What more can we have a look at? There's loads going on here. Now it's got some blue mantle under here. You can see the blue mantle just so glitching. Can you see it there? Right in the middle, a thumbnail clipping of blue mint. We're going to go underwater, guys. Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. 3, 2. There we are. And yes, we've got an underwater canal. I don't know. I think Hans has completely forgotten that this was in here. And frankly, I wouldn't have even noticed it apart from the little bit of underwater blue mantle. There we are. Around here we've got headland, and we've got this lighthouse up here, the essential lighthouse no less, in orange. I think it looks really good in this theme and that, but location, I don't know. I'm not buying that location so much. I guess you can be seen from miles away. Over here though we have got another essential lighthouse, which I'm buying much more into. The in green, the essential lighthouse. In green, and from down here I think I'm buying that a lot more. Makes a lot of sense, that one. Now notice the beach we had in the start square. Why haven't we got beaches here? I mean, we've got the little cliff leading down onto the beach front, but there's no sand, and I don't know why there isn't any sand. Reduce this down, a little bit of painting from BonBonB, a little bit of map making tutorial. I should do one, shouldn't I, really? I haven't done any map making I should make another map. That's what I should do. I haven't made a map for a long time, just finding the time. Anyway, yeah, they put a little bit of sand along there. Oh, a bit more sand over here as well. All the way along here is just, could do with just like a little bit of, oh crikey, I've gone over the edges. Coloured over the edges there, let me rub it out there, bit of eraser. Lovely. Anyway, I think that's a bit better than having the green down there. It's not fantastic, but it's better than it was, I think. My opinion, anyway. What more? We've got a feature area down here. And it's, sing it with me, everybody's favourite factory. Oh dear. It's a quarry, an abandoned quarry. And I can see why it's been abandoned, because if you were living in here, you'd be worrying about rockfalls. Also, in heavy rain, that would just flood. Where's the water going to go? Right into that hollow. I really wouldn't want to live in there, and that's why it's abandoned. So it makes sense that it's abandoned. Just makes sense. That doesn't make sense that it was built in the first place. But I'm sure Hans didn't build it himself. No, he didn't. Anyway, we've got this little railway interchange thing as well. I'll just show you that. This is on the opposite side. We didn't follow the rail for him here. This goes down to Start Square. They've got some ramps in there I feel are a little bit on the steep sides, but we'll let that go. But yes, this. Are you still on red? It's still on red. This leads down to this little area here. Quite a nice little building area, I think. Got a little fishing area as well. And I think what we'll do is we will put in some infrastructure here. A little residential, some roads and all the bits. Just to encourage something to build down here. And I want to see what happens with those traffic lights. So bear with me while I put in the basics. And we'll come back to that in a minute. And here it is. This is a few minutes later. We have now things going on. Red lights. See how long this guy's got to sit at red lights. Or will it be indefinite, or will he be able to fly through there in... Oh, well, there you go. Who knew? Intelligent traffic lights. Who knew? Anyway, your chance to vote on the map. Is it a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Your vote really does count. We use it at the end of the month for the Viewer's Choice Top 10. Will this be one of the top 10 maps of the month? Well, only you can decide. And it's got an outside chance, I think. An outside chance. But you let me know. Aesthetically, I don't think it's awful. It does have a kind of a beginner's feel to it, but I think it's a good choice of theme. I think the theme works really well with what has been done. And I'm going to give it a lowish 3. Not a low 3, a lowish 3. Like 3 and a third, you know. Detailing, it's a little bit sloppy. And there are lots of little things that need fixing. I'm gonna give it 2 stars. It's way too good to be a 1-star map. I'm gonna give it 2 stars, pushing for a 3, but not quite there. Gameplay potential, I think it is playable. Whether you want to actually play this map's a different thing, but if you're looking for this particular layout, I think you could go you can go a long way wrong. Not to choose this one. I'm gonna go with 3 stars for gameplay. Newlands by Hans Snyman. I don't hate it. I think that's the nicest thing to say. I don't hate it. I'm not going to say it's not a particularly map I'm particularly fond of. I can't even speak. It's not a map I'm particularly fond of. But I don't have any major issues with it at all, apart from tidying up a few of the details. Could have easily been a 3-3-3 map, that one, which is a good pass, but just lacking. Anyway, thanks for watching, for commenting, for liking, and for subscribing. There's an old map on the screen now if you want to go and have a little vote on that one. And hopefully you'll come back tomorrow, because tomorrow we have got the top map of the moment.